Hello, the game has started. It's my opponent to go first. I've got a great rack, I've got the blank, I've got S's, I've got pod souls, and possibly something else. Probably not a huge number of bingos with 2 O's, no other vowels, but pod souls is there. Will it play? Vooj takes an S, so yes it will. Now, a couple of options to consider. Do I have a double-double through the O of Vooj? That'll be a play with 3 O's. Not seeing one. What about a play ending in E? No, not seeing it. So, let me get my bingo down. Pod souls for 70. Wow, what a great pick. The Q with the U. No duplicates. Jolly close to a bingo. I'm not seeing one. Unless requites exists. That doesn't play at the moment, but requite spelt Q-U-Y-T-E-S would be available through an E in the open. To a W, I would have QWERTY. I've got key. The V really inhibits parallel plays because there are no 2-letter V words. Doesn't just prohibit them, it completely removes their possibility. So, good score for opponent, doesn't provide anything new. What about OP? I have QWOP, which is worth considering. Am I sure there are no bingos here? And this applies to any floater on the board. I certainly don't have a 7. Not seeing anything with a D. S. What about the O? L. V. O. Already considered. Wow, I have talks. I have talkie, which gets rid of Q, U, and Y. Let me see what that scores. That's 38 points. Wrecks the rack. Let me continue my search for bingos. Nothing with a U. What about the G? No E. Any anagram of requites? Not seeing one. Okay, so if I play QWOP, I retain rest, which is fantastic, and Y, which is, it's not terrible, and it does have scoring potential. I'm not seeing anywhere to play Q-U-E-Y or Q-U-E-Y-N. Well, apart from here, 34 points keeping RST. 34 points for that. I'm minded to go with QWOP because there's this super hot Y spot next to the O, and the E really helps RST. And the Y is a quasi-vowel, so this is balanced. I am going with QWOP. So, pretty awful, but had I have played the E, I might have drawn a further consonant. Now, this Y spot looking less handy, with only one vowel. In fact, I'm not sure I can get it to play twice. Through a U, I would have Vutty. Doesn't score well, but totally sorts the rack out, keeping ERS. What else is there? What about the O? Through an I would have Tivy, leaving the best possible rack leave of rest. Great, so Vutty remains available. The only new vowel isn't in a great spot. Gosh, Vutty doesn't get either the V or the Y on a premium square. But sorting the rack out is a priority, and that means playing off the V and the Y. Yep, Vutty, 13 points. That's shockingly low. Is there really nothing through the O? No, I don't think so. V and Y are not easy to get rid of together. look at this, and this is why you get rid of V and Y. This is a dream rack. So 42 for opponent, that's good for them. So I trail. I've got a fantastic rack, but the board not massively bingo friendly. I'm looking at the E of Vooges for an 8-letter play beginning with E. And there may not be one. And also row K, which is a double-double lane, where Y is in second or third place. Gosh, close to Reynard's if an E were an A. I've got the sin prefix, but with double E, double R. So at the moment, I'm not seeing a bingo. I have Venerers down from the V, so I certainly am bingoing. Opponent's taken out row E as a double-double lane. So I have Yearners. Do I have any REY plays? Don't think so. Venerers creates access to row O, which isn't great. Yearners doesn't have that. I am placing a vowel next to a premium square. What about a play through the V which doesn't begin with the V? Surely there's one of those. Gosh, not seeing one. But surely there is. What about a play beginning ENV? Yeah, well, I do have one. I have over Wrens. This is nice because, look at this, it doesn't open access to row O, and it doesn't put a vowel next to a premium square apart from the lowest possible premium square of a double letter. An opponent can't use both of them because Voog is in the way. So over Wrens for 70. Well, not great. 5 vowels. However, the consonants are bingo-y ones. So there could even be a 5-vowel 8 here. Where are the floaters? There's N. No. S. No, there's T. No, there's R and T. Gosh, that looks close. Nope. And L. So I'm not seeing a bingo here. No scoring tiles. I do have a lead of 50 points. So how to sort this rack out? 44 points for opponent. That would have been a lot worse if I'd opened access to row O, I think. Yeah, it's Urania, which is good, I think, which turns over 6 tiles. I don't have anything to go between. Well, I have an A. A goes here between R and Y. But I would need to. I want to play off a U or an I, or preferably both. Na isn't good, otherwise I would have Nairu. I could play Urania through the N, but it feels a bit reckless sticking a U under this double letter square. When we're so close, I could end up chasing the game. Unai is good. Is there anywhere for that? UNAI. Wow, what a tricky rack. Wasn't expecting this much difficulty. Look at this. Nairu almost works in column 10. It's just LU which doesn't. I could play Sui. but I think I'd want to play off the A as well to justify such a low score. Can't see anything getting value from the H and the F. I'm looking at the scoring tiles on the board to see if I can get value from them. Not easy. Can't see any 6-letter plays beginning with Y. I would have Yortia with a T. I would have Rayat if there was one extra space between R and Y. Well, maybe I should change, keeping rain. Literally, well, what about Unai here? Yeah, that's effectively the same as changing, except I'm scoring 8 points. And opponent can't really take advantage of this triple letter square without providing access to row O. I'm going with this. Okay, so not fabulous, no scoring tiles and duplicates. Not seeing anything beginning with the E. 24 for opponent, that's fine. I was just wondering if I had a play through the O. Not seeing it. 1 is good. Just looking for a 4-letter play in column 10. I don't have one. What about row E? Can I get value from the tiles? Well, not from the F. Her is good, but I want to split up the duplicate D. Ma doesn't take anything in front. Just wondering about sticking a D underneath this I. If I could get the play doubled, that might be worth doing. Not seeing anything. 10 minutes on my clock. I'd like to take out this hot X spot. But the only way I can see of doing that is this. 8 points. The same as I scored last time. Hardly the breakfast of champions. And the rack leave isn't that fabulous. And Rod takes an E, so that cannot be the play. Aha, what about playing up here because of Doff, and then I get value from the B and the F? So, yeah, I do have a play here. I have Rad, and this rack leave isn't terrible, and this is 23 points. And I'm only setting up 2-letter plays at the top left. So I think this is the play. DE takes an I, but I'm not seeing any play which uses that. So, rinding, is that good? Not sure. In any event, I don't think it goes. $17 for opponent, that's good. We are so close. The next bingo could be crucial, and this feels very close to a bingo-y rack. So I have rinding. It doesn't play and it may not be good. Where are the floaters? There's a D. That's no good. T. Nope. E. Nope. Y. Nope. R blank Y. No. So I'm drawing a blank here. S. No. C takes nothing to the left, so that was a nice play by opponent. No access to the bottom left. I don't have a vowel for going above the R. So I'm just looking to sort the rack out. No blanks to come. Overends and podsols. Wow, I had both of them. And I trail. Dining for 16 points. Not very much, but this gives very little away. All the S's have gone as well. Dining does take an S. Is this the play? There's very little worth preserving on the rack. I'm providing very little for opponent. If opponent wants to play across from the end, there'll be floaters for me. Loads of A's and E's to come, which go well with D and R. There's the 7-letter lane under Uni. Yeah, but mainly this provides nothing. Opponent may just resort to the top left. But only 16 points. And I could play Niding instead, which creates new lanes, but not particularly useful ones. And a scoring opportunity in the top. Yeah, I don't like providing that scoring opportunity. A J could go on that double letter square, so I prefer dining. However, am I missing anything? Nope, I'm going with dining. Great, I draw E's, I have refiled, I have fielder. Gosh, fielder doesn't quite work to the right of this I. Ni and Ge, not good. But I have fielder and if. Fantastic. Will that stay available? This is such a close game. 13 points between us. I think Gowd takes an S, but all the S's and blanks have gone, so top right of the board is dead. Unless opponent opens it up. Surely opponent is not going to take out my bingo lane. They'll be terrified of row O. But with all these A's and D's to come, there will be bingos in the bag. 28 tiles in the bag. Now, opponent's played. What have they done? E.T. Fantastic. Just 20 points. So, the bingo I have seen is fielder under the Eye of Uni. Only 6 minutes on my clock. Okay, that's made my mind up. Well, Furlead is its anagram, or an anagram, and that avoids placing a vowel over this triple word square. So this has got to be better. Furlead for 84. And I draw two good scoring tiles in the J and the K. Only 6 minutes on my clock, 20 tiles in the bag, which is a lot, so I need to speed up my game. I've got OK top left for over 30 points. Wow, I was hoping I would have a J something R play, but I don't have an A for Jark. And I'm not seeing anything else which fits. J doesn't go above I or E. So not a great board for J's. And there are no two-letter plays ending in J. My lead is just one bingo, but this isn't a bingo-friendly board. Especially with no blanks and S's. I think any bingos would involve massive overlaps, which are difficult to spot and not very common. But there is scoring potential on the bottom row. What do I have bottom right? And what am I going to do with this J? Great, just 19 points. Fantastic. Well, why don't I play OK for 33 points and let opponent create a spot for the J? Is that a good plan? Yeah, I think it is, especially when I'm short on time. OK for 33. Great, I draw another vowel. Any vowel is good when you're nearing the end of the game. I have Punji on my rack. Great, opponent opens the board up. And I've got a J to capitalise. Can I get the J doubled? Don't think I can. I can play it. I can play dupe on. And I'm minded to. Gets rid of all the scoring tiles. Scores 16 points, which isn't great, but I'm pretty much taking out all three bingo lanes. And look at this, I already have a bingo's lead. 12 tiles in the bag. I'm going to be taking 4 of them. So I think this is the play. I was just wondering about looking for a play through the T, which gets doubled. This is a very lowly score. But I like the fact that I'm taking out bingo lanes. Wow, where did these vowels come from? I draw 4 tiles, I draw 3 A's and an I. Wow. Well, J takes an A. Do I have any 5-letter plays ending in A? I have Arlii. Oh, that ends in a J. It ends in an I, rather. Oh, opponent gets good value from the X. But I still lead by 50. 4 tiles in the bag. They are bingo-y, but really there's just a floating G in a very precise place. I do have a spot for REI, but I am going to be emptying the bag. Do I want to do that? 16 points. Don't think I want to do that. Why don't I do this? AIA for 11, leaving 1 in the bag and extinguishing the last remaining bingo lane. This feels far more satisfying. Yeah, AIA for 11. And I draw the final A, so I think I've had all 5 of the last 5 A's. And opponent does not have a tile to go to the right of the J. They burnt the O for Oxa. So if I could find a 5-letter A play, it would play in column 15. But do I have one? 4 minutes on my clock. Ictal and Cytal don't end in A. Gosh, I would have iatrical through an R. Cilia is good, plural of cilium. Great, just 18 points for opponent. I don't think they're going to go out with Menry. In any event, I think this game is won, especially after Cilia for 33. Great. Look at this, comfortable lead. And only 5 tiles on opponent's rack. I don't think they're going out. So what's the best I can do with AT? I've got Tar, T and Al for 10. Wat and Dar for 8. Trying to do this vaguely, methodically. Tar and Anna for 11 points. Wow. T and A. Bottom right for 10. Let me just look at the down clues. Gosh, still nearly 4 minutes on my clock. I must have played my last few moves fairly quickly. Alla and Tit and At for 10. Great, 18 for opponent. Nothing massive there. So I have Tar for 11. And the final score, 355 for opponent, 435 for me. A winning margin of 80 points, so a huge, huge win. Let's see what I missed. Wow, what a game. I threw away the last game, so I wanted to get back on track quickly, and I have done so. So here we go. It was opponent to go first. They provide 5 floaters. Oh, Spodosol, of course. Through this, oh, that would have been spectacular. Absolutely fantastic word. A type of soil, I believe. But not one which came to mind, alas. Sploosh also playable, and Vuges, and then my humdrum Podsouls, 16 points short of Spodo Soul. Wow. And other options. Now, opponent plays How. Quieted D4. Oh, because How takes an E. That's nice. 47 points. This is the talky option I considered. And in the end, I went with Quap for 35, and I like that. Although, even compared to Quieted, it isn't a terrible play because Resty is such a nice 5-letter rack leave, even with the Y. Opponent's rack. They play Body. Now I play Vutty for 13. D1. Tire playable for 31. And STV is not a terrible rack leave. Wow, that was a miss. Well done if you spotted that. Yeah, ERS better than STV, but not massively, and certainly not 18 points. So I play Vutty. Opponent plays Fees in the spot which Tire would have taken out. But look at this. I kept the best rack leave, and I've been rewarded. 10 million bingos, including overends for 70. But there was an E play. There was Enterers for 74. Wow. Okay. I didn't spot that, but overends for 70 was pretty good. Opponent plays Tsar for 44, and this was a tricky rack. I only lead by 7 points. M3, Anuria through this end sticks an A underneath this double letter square. I don't like that. Anna keeps a horrible rack leave. I think Unai is better than any of these plays. Now, opponent plays Mac. Phew, no missed bingo here. B1 Dad, keeping double R. I play Rad, which is a better play. It's a better rack leave and only sacrifices 2 points. Fantastic, look at this. No vowels at all on opponent's rack and really limited scoring options. So they play Gout for 17, and there's just 3 points between us. And this was a tricky rack. I went with Dining for 21, but not in row N. N1, interesting, Rinsing playable for 28 points, and not really opening up very much, although there is access to this triple word square in the middle. It's got to be accessed by a vowel which can go underneath a G, which isn't an A or an E, so a play would have to begin IOU. So what do? I played Dining for 16. Yep, Rinsing would have been better. Opponent plays Et. And now, look at this, I have Furlied for 84. Fielder actually scoring more. Not sure why that is. It's the same tiles. The D goes on the triple letter square with Fielder, but in any event, both are good, and Defiler in the same spot for less. Now, great rack for opponent. No bingo. Plays Eat. And, okay, that was my play, so glad to see it top of the shop. An opponent hovering with a bingo-y rack and a missed bingo. Wow. I sort of mentioned in passing this G as an available floater in 4th place, but look at this, there is one. Ring Bolt for 61. That would have put the cat among the pigeons. And also B11. Wow, Blonde Dining onto Dining. That would have been pretty spectacular. Fortunately for me, opponent plays Knight on, and I preserve my bingo's lead. I played Dupe on here for 16 to crush the bingo lanes. N1. I don't like that, putting a J over this triple word square with all these A's and an O to come. So I like my play. It's only 8 points short of Gins and strategically far superior. Opponent plays Oxa, and I've drawn these A's. which is quite nice because it's a bingo-y tile, and it also gives me access to column 15 because J takes an A. So I play Aya to take out this G for 11 points and not very much more on offer. No bingo for opponent, they play Bell. I have Cilia for 33. Opponent does not have an out, they play me. And finally Tar for 11 was best. So what a super game. Absolutely fantastic stuff. It would have been even better to have spotted Spodo Soul, but I bingoed nonetheless, and overall the game I think went my way. I got the blanks and established a lead, and opponent had bingo-y racks towards the end and missed the difficult to spot ring bolt. So super exciting stuff. Many thanks to opponent for a good game. I hope you enjoyed watching that game. Like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you next time.